Hello Sagittarius, welcome to my channel. It is an absolute blessing to be here with you. So thank you for being here with me for your September 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find links to all sorts of goodies. You will also find a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. Please do keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I am encouraging, if you feel called or would like to, all signs to check out your big three, your sun, moon, and rising Tarotscopes for this month. September is a universal 7 month, and this is often thought of as the spiritual seeker or the wise sage on the quest for deep inner knowledge. We're being asked to slow down, dive deep into ourselves, and reflect on our soul's desires and our purpose. We're also being encouraged to seek divine wisdom in solitude and stillness and allow what we learn there to move us, which is again why I'm encouraging that look into those other aspects, simply because when we get very reflective and we go inward, sometimes things can get murky. And having that extra little bit of clarity may be beneficial as you move through this month. So we're going to be diving into this energy for this month's Tarotscope. Let's see what's coming through for you. Father, Mother, Life, Universe, spirits, guides, angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves. What is the overall energy of September for Sagittarius, please? Thank you. If Sagittarius slows down and listens to their soul's callings and God's callings, what might they hear, please? Wow, fast, Sag. How could integrating what Sagittarius learns help to bring clarity, stability, and or structure to their path, purpose, and life, please? How could integrating what Sagittarius learns help to bring clarity, stability, and or structure? Okay. Ooh, that's kind of a lot. All right, I'm being told to take it, so we will. What wisdom do Sagittarius's angels, guides, ancestors, spirit source, universe, or God most want to share with them as they move forward, please? Okay, thank you. Sag, I'm going to ask for your patience and understanding as I'm getting cards out from this deck. As you can see, it's circular, and this is not a shape that I am incredibly comfortable with just yet. So I do appreciate your grace. Tell us more, please, about the overall energy of September 2023 for Sagittarius. I feel like it's these. Tell us more, please. What might Sagittarius hear if they slow down and listen to their soul's callings and God's callings? Okay, thank you. Tell us more, please. How could integrating what Sagittarius learns help to bring... Okay, thank you. And tell us more, please, about the wisdom Sagittarius's angels. Okay, thank you. Anything we may have missed or need to know about the overall energy of September 2023 for Sagittarius, please? Anything we need to know or may have missed about the overall... Okay, thank you. Anything we need to know or may have missed? Thank you. Anything we need to know? Oh my gosh. All right. Anything we need to know or may have missed, please, in regards to the wisdom that Sagittarius's angels... Okay. And any final words of wisdom that Sagittarius's angels, guides, ancestors, spirit, source, universe, or God most want to share with them as they move forward, please? Any final words of wisdom for Sagittarius? Okay, I'm getting to take all of these, which is interesting because I just want to say real quick, I kept seeing this while I was getting or preparing for your reading, and it's interesting that it would actually come out. So it'll be fascinating to see how that relates to your September. Let's take a look at your overall energy. So Sagittarius, you have here first, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Interestingly enough, I feel as though this energy for you, Sagittarius, is really about, how do I say, bringing to life or embodying an entirely new way of being. I feel like oftentimes this card comes up as a new age in the sense of like everyone, right? What is it you're doing to bring a new way of being into the world as a whole, right? How are you contributing to that? But I feel as though in this case, it's more about your world. It's more about that, or rather those things that want to be birthed through you in order for you to experience the world differently or in an entirely new way. I feel as though you may be closing some cycles that have been running for quite some time. You may have been repeating patterns, and you may have picked up on this, or you may be aware of this. And I feel as though this is trying to bring that to a close and encourage you to step into a new way. But I feel that that's going to require you to, again, kind of embody, or rather embody fully what it is that you want to experience or what you know to be true about yourself. I'm actually seeing, I don't know, this may be for someone specific, but I'm actually seeing this like taking a step forward. And it's interesting because the landscape or the ground where I'm seeing this step take place is sand. That, again, that may resonate with someone specific. Maybe you've been to the beach lately or something, but I feel as though for the majority, it may resonate or manifest, if you will, in this, how do I say? So if you were to, let's say, walk in sand for a long period of time, like that could be incredibly tiring. The ground isn't, it's steady, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like it shifts beneath your feet. And sometimes you can get like sand in your shoes. And I feel as though this is speaking to that, first of all, the work that it's going to take to reach your destination. Secondly, that you're going to have to be uncomfortable or be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're going to have to be okay or accept that there is a level of discomfort in moving from one way of being to another, that the ground may shift beneath you, that you may get sand in your shoes, right? That it could be, again, incredibly uncomfortable for you as you move forward. You also have here equinox, commitment, integration, and shifts. Yeah, right. The amount of work that it's going to take for you to reach your destination or to birth this new way of being is certainly going to take a deep level of commitment, to what it is you desire, to your goals. It is going to require you to integrate new information as it becomes available to you. It's going to require you to shift from one way to another to release the things that you may have been previously implementing into your reality, and allow new ways to come in and to start to implement those or integrate those. It seems as though this is likely to feel like quite an adjustment. Again, that I'm being shown again that foot forward, or that step forward in the sand. And, there's again a certain level of discomfort, especially if you're going to be journeying for vast amounts of time or a long period through sand, right? It can be tiring. It can be challenging. You can feel unsteady. And I feel as though, again, there's a certain level that's coming, or rather, there's a certain energy that's coming through for you for this month, where you're going to be asked to commit deeply to what your goals, right? To the world that you're trying to create. And so it's not just going to be this simple, easy thing, right? You have, just a moment ago, I looked up 1111. Yeah, it's like an awakening, this spiritual awakening into a new beginning. You also have new moon, funny enough, new beginning, creation, intention, and potential. Yes, there's a lot of potential available to you here. But again, this is going to require you to create it. It's going to require you to put yourself in positions where you may be uncomfortable, and are intentionally pressing on or continuing on in order to bring into being what it is you are wanting to create, what you're desiring, the experience, the way of being, the life you are desiring. So, I would say to expect, if you want to create something new, a new way of being, and, create a new world for yourself, I would anticipate the work. Commit to that. See the potential in it. Understand that if you want to create something new, you're going to have to be intentional. It's going to require you to be uncomfortable and to continue moving forward regardless. Right? So it's almost this kind of giving yourself this clean slate, right? To start to kind of gather your thoughts and begin planning, right? What is it going to take? What is going to be necessary of me in order to create this shift? You have as well, Knight of Wands. I love this so much because this is truly about taking that action, first of all, and second of all, seeing this as the grand adventure it is, and being fearless, right? Just seeing that path before you and seeing it as a new chapter, seeing it, or rather looking into the unknown fearlessly, choosing to be a bit adventurous and be confident in where you feel called to move, or how you feel called to move, right? In order to align with your passions, in order to allow that inspiration to lead you and guide you. You have the Six of Pentacles here in the reverse, which I feel as though this is speaking for some of you. What needs to be released that holds power over you, or dominates your, how do I say? Yeah, because it kind of feels like this uneven exchange of energy, where there's something that's dominating over you or has power over you, which is not producing, right? Or is not like a return on investment type of thing. And I feel as though this commitment that's being asked of you is going to require you to leave those things behind. Right? It's almost like if you want to create this, then your cooperation is needed, right? It's going to be an adjustment. I also feel as though There's something here about being okay or being comfortable with not having all the answers, with stepping out into this unknown space and doing so without knowing everything. Okay, kind of taking a leap, embodying that more Sagittarian optimism or open-mindedness, and being enthusiastic anyways, right? The Knight of Wands is a representation of you in the tarot, and I feel as though it's saying like you have to embody those aspects of yourself in order to create this harmony, in order to heal, in order to get into that alignment. It's pretty fascinating, actually. And I'm loving this, Sag, because your reading is very, very much like this straight to the point kind of energy. It's like, listen, there's no dancing around this. This is what it is, right? So I feel like there's certainly an acknowledgement of that required on your part. So what might you hear then if you slow down and listen to your soul's callings and God's callings? Oh yeah, break the chain. Yes, like I was saying, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future, right? Like I was talking about how you may have been made aware of these patterns that you've been repeating. And I feel as though if you haven't, taking the time to slow down and listen, you are putting yourself in a position where you most certainly could. And a big part of this, I feel, is healing from some of these patterns that you've been repeating throughout your experience. And this could certainly stem from some ancestral or generational patterns. It certainly could very well be just what you've been experiencing in this lifetime. But I feel as though either way, this will be brought to your attention if you allow yourself the time to really slow down and listen to what your soul is speaking to you, what God is speaking to you. And I feel as though, interestingly enough, it could expose or show you the path forward. Now, that's not to say that you would know every step or that you would know exactly what's coming or that you may even be, what is the word I'm looking for, excited about it, or no, that's not right. It may not even be something that you are sure of. I may have said that, but I still feel as though it could show you like, hey, this is where your next step lies. And that's often how universe spirit works, right? God will give you the step, and then you take the step, and then you're shown the next step. And that there could be time in between that. Maybe it happens almost immediately, but however it unfolds, it's like one step at a time. So I feel as though, again, if you take that time, you may be made aware of those patterns and what the next step is in your healing in order to create a new experience for yourself or to rewrite the future. Leaving behind those past versions, right? Moving away from those. We also have here for you Gaia, Earth, Nature, Embodiment. I mean, come on now. Again, I feel like you cannot make this stuff up. That there's this call for you, or you would hear this call for you to embody what you want to bring forward, to birth this new world, or earth, if you will, into being. It's about grounding that into your experience by embodying it and taking action. This is not about sitting on your hands. And here's the thing. I just want to be very clear. When I'm speaking of action, certainly that can be things that you do in your physical experience. Okay? Maybe you're called to go to a certain place, talk to a certain person, whatever it is. Okay? Take on a new practice. Maybe it's a spiritual practice, meditation, prayer, journaling, something. It certainly can be those things, but considering where we are in this universal 7 month with the retrograde parade dancing through the sky, it is more about reflecting on these things. The action is more about recognizing what's going on, right? Choosing to take the time to make yourself aware of these things and planning, embodying that, using what you learn. Okay. Again, right, there's that encouragement with the universal 7 month of seeking that divine wisdom in solitude and stillness, and then allowing that to move you, right? So not actually taking physical action until you feel called to do so, because the action currently is that reflection, is that introspection, that deep dive inward, gaining that insight and awareness of self. But again, I feel as though you would hear, hey, you've got to embody this, and in order to bring it into the physical world, you've got to embody it, right? You've got to change your mindset, you've got to change your habits, you've got to change how you're speaking, all of these sorts of things. Okay. You have here as well, first house, Aries, self, body, and presence. Yeah. I mean, again, embodiment and self, right? Aries is the energy of I am. Okay. So again, embodying that. I know I sound like a broken record, but embodying that, and yeah, I'm getting some fear as well. So embodying that and being very present, even if you are afraid, even if there are fears and triggers and these sorts of things that are coming up. Because, okay, yep. Often the direction we are called to go in order for us to evolve, to experience something different or better, is in the direction of our fears, right? Oftentimes the place that you feel most called to move, or the direction you feel most called to move in, is the one where your fears are screaming the loudest. Okay. So I feel as though another, facet of what you may hear is to embody your truest self, to be very present in in your body, to be present in your body, to be aware of what is exactly going on, because that is going to expose to you where that healing is required. Okay. You could also have some areas in your chart, of course, but certainly it's that I am. We also have square, competition, tension, and disharmony. Yeah, again, like I was saying, I know I sound like a broken record, you guys, but it is what it is. And where we have this healing energy, or this break the chain energy, how do you do that? Right? How do you do that? Well, you're going to have to figure out where the disharmony is. You're going to have to get comfortable with exploring that, because the only way that we can acknowledge and understand where those patterns are taking place, or where we need that healing, is to sit with it, right? You've got to feel it in order to deal with it so that you can heal it. So it's, where is this tension? Where is this disharmony? Where is that taking place? Because that's likely where your attention needs to be. And I feel as though if you, again, slow down and listen, that's what you're likely to hear. This is where the tension is. This is where the disharmony is. This is where we'll say your presence is needed. Okay? You have here as well the moon. Yeah. Right. This is how, so I feel like this is how you put yourself in a position to gain clarity. The moon in reverse is a representation often of like confusion and fear, doubt, fear of the possibilities, right? And so it's like I was saying, you're going to have to move through that fear in order to gain that clarity, in order to see through the confusion, or to fully step into what's meant for you, or what is waiting for you, or what you want to create. There's going to have to be that movement through the fear. There's going to have to be that ability to sit with that disharmony, sit with that confusion, sit with any of these, what we might call like illusions, and to give ourselves the opportunity to explore those, to dive deeply in them so that we can overcome them. Right? So, and what's interesting is you do have Jupiter here on this Break the Chain card. And again, this, I feel like, again, this is for your expansion. This is for you to grow into something different. Jupiter is the planet of growth, expansion, abundance, understanding, higher learning, optimism, right? So, and funny enough, it is the ruler of your sign. So, all of this energy is like, show up for yourself, right? Show up for yourself, allow yourself to grow and expand through this understanding that you can gain by sitting with yourself. So how could integrating what you learn here help to bring clarity, stability, and or structure to your path, purpose, and life? You got quite a little stack going on here. And your first card is Mirror. Who or what is triggering you? Yeah, like I was saying, right? Sitting with this energy is going to allow you to pick out or discern what the triggers are. And the triggers point to what needs your presence, your attention, what is asking to be healed. So I feel as though you're going to gain that clarity there. And, as we deal with those things and as we address them, that's when we can, really heal and make moves in our experience. So I feel that this is what's showing up for you here. And I don't know why, but I'm getting this message of you may not like what you find. I don't know why it's coming through that way, but you could certainly be finding that there are things that are triggering to you, which you may not have anticipated, thought about, or maybe you have and ignored or avoided. But I feel like it could be shown very clearly to you, and that may be something that you may be apprehensive about, but that doesn't make it any less true. Ooh, yeah, you have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. So I do, again, okay, so let me just kind of backtrack a little bit here, because both of these cards are blue in color. And I was immediately taken to Archangel Michael energy, which with the Sword of Light, Archangel Michael helps you to cut the cords and break free from things that don't serve you. Okay, so with the Mirror card and no, I again feel as though you could be shown these things that are triggering to you that maybe you have not wanted to see or have avoided or been unaware of, and it could be asking for you to free yourself from them, to say no to those things in order for you to grow, in order for you to align with this new way of being, in order for you to align with your next adventure. This could be people, places, situations, environments, right? Patterns, behaviors, habits, you name it, it's in there. Okay. I also feel that you may find that taking time to how do I say this? You may find that once you do take the opportunity to kind of slow down and to kind of be still, okay? Because I know that Sagittarius has a tendency to kind of be transient. But I feel as though if you take the time to pause and be still, you may find yourself wanting to do that more often. You may find, though it may be a difficult habit to break for some of you, I feel you may find like you may experience having that inner dialogue, or going through this inner dialogue where you're telling yourself, wait a minute, let me slow down, let me think about this, let me get quiet, let me, get my bearings, and then I can move. Then I can make a choice when I feel called. I'm also getting some throat chakra stuff. Like, so my throat is all of a sudden feeling very itchy. I'm almost feeling like my voice is going to break or crack. And so I feel as though with this blue coming through and that feeling in my throat, that you could be experiencing or gain some clarity perhaps on some throat chakra type of blockages or something of that nature. So the throat chakra is the ability to, when it's balanced, is the ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively, to be diplomatic and imaginative, but ultimately to be expressive. And when it's imbalanced, it's more about, kind of being shy or withdrawn, maybe even arrogant, and having this kind of increased anxiety. It's experiencing that inability to clearly express your truth. And so I feel as though you may be experiencing some things there as well, or some activations, some clearing around that area of your life, right? Maybe there are people who have been critical or harsh or gossipy, or maybe you've been this way towards yourself, and you may find that that may be part of what's triggering you. You have here as well, that's funny. That is funny. You have yes, just say yes. How about that? You have no and yes. Have you been indecisive lately, Sag? You may gain clarity on this. If you've felt indecisive, you may gain clarity. I also feel as though with this yes card, this feels to me like say yes to you, right? Say no to the things that are triggering you, and say yes to yourself, say yes to your truth, say yes to your healing. And what I mean by say no to what's triggering you is I'm no longer going to perpetuate this energy by fueling it, by, acting upon these triggers, by engaging with these things that trigger me. Or how would I say? It feels like a say yes to your own healing, right? So if you're finding that all of these things are triggering to you and you're moving through them, right? Sometimes that will ask us to move away from certain things, to, let's no longer engage with this type of behavior. Let's no longer perpetuate this by, continuing to exhibit it or embody it. And so there's an energy of like, say no to that, but say yes to your truth. Say yes to healing. Say yes to growing. Say yes to taking action on these things. Say yes to asserting yourself and what it is you truly want. Say yes to being, if you will, decisive, right? Say yes to asserting what it is you actually want. So again, I feel like more so than anything, this is showing up as indecisiveness, and you may gain clarity, or, you could, through that stillness and integrating what you learn as you're still, you may find that you gain clarity where you were previously indecisive. Also, there's that energy of 3 beings on this card, which speaks to me about growth and, again, expression. Another 3, yeah. You have don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light to fit in? So again, it feels like saying yes to your truth, right? Like I picked that up almost immediately. And, I feel as though so let me just point out to you, there are 3 upward facing triangles. First on the no card, then on the yes card, and again on this don't dim to fit in card. And that upward facing triangle is the representation of the masculine energy. And now this does not matter, male or female is irrelevant. this is about energy. And the masculine energy is that one of decisiveness. It's that one of assertiveness and clarity and boundaries and courage and action and confidence. Okay? It's also one of endurance and focus. So there's this energy here of, you know, choosing you, choosing to do the things that are going to allow your light to shine the brightest, that are going to grow you, that are going to align you. In addition to that, if you notice here on the top of the card, the beings are covering their eyes, but there is this almost third eye energy that's open here, or like all-seeing eye type of energy. And that third eye energy is really about following, I mean, really like following your intuition, right? It's about being driven by openness and um, imagination, you know, again, representing that intuition and kind of foresight type of energy. And when that is blocked, or when we're not paying attention to it, that is where we can have that lack of direction and lack of clarity. Okay. And where we tend to self-sabotage or even sit in delusion. So again, I feel like this is really about taking this time to get still and if you choose to integrate that, you could learn again what is triggering you, gaining clarity on these things, seeing perhaps where you've been dimming your light, where you've been indecisive, gaining, like I was saying, clarity on those things, and then aligning more with your path, with your purpose, and what is meant for your life. You have here series, self-care, wellness, and agriculture. Yeah, I mean, this is interesting because when we deny certain aspects of ourselves, or when we dim our light to fit in, that plays against our self-care and our wellness. It can often show up in our bodies as dis-ease or illness, and it certainly can bring about stress and anxiety and perpetuate a lot of fear, which definitely takes its toll on our physical well-being. So I do feel here that you could find, how would we say, your wellness, like getting more stability in your overall well-being, if that makes sense. And I feel as though that this is certainly a time for you to be focusing on that self-care and that wellness. And this is not just, you know, what society likes to tell us, like, I don't know, a massage a night with the guys or whatever it is, though that can certainly help. You know, your self-care and wellness is more about just your physical body, you know, or sleep, though that's incredibly important. This is also about self-care in the sense of creating things that are important to you, you know, stimulating your mind or your imagination with things that are meaningful, with things that stir passion within you, that ignite fire within you. It's also about, you know, stimulating your spirit, doing things that are going to help you to grow in all areas of your life, not just one or the other. I am going to pull the book for this card and just read a little bit more about this energy for you. Again, we're looking at how integrating what you learn in that slowing down, or rather how what you learn when you're in stillness and listening could help to bring clarity, stability, and or structure into your path, purpose, and life. The depth of a mother's love is personified in Ceres, known as the Earth Mother and represented by Demeter, the mother of Persephone in Greek mythology. Mothers experience the love, oh my good gosh, why can I not talk? I feel like for some of you, you don't know. You might not know what would bring wellness to your mind, body, spirit for some reason, because I'm struggling to speak, which is odd. But anyhow, mothers experience the expanse of love, grief, and the cyclical nature of life and fierce protection for their children. Series in your natal chart can show you how you feel most naturally nurturing towards others, as well as what helps you to feel well cared for. Look to Series to improve your self-care and well-being, allowing yourself to be nurtured by the fierce Earth Mother. Series provides a holistic outlook, tracking the seasons of what we need to feel whole in mind, body, spirit. Yeah. Right. So again, I feel like this is giving back to yourself, right? Showing up for yourself in all areas of your life. You have here as well, third quarter moon, breakdown, readjustment, and forgiveness. So like I was saying, those things that show up that are triggering to you may not be what you want to address, right? You may much rather just avoid them. But I feel that there are certain things in your experience that have likely broken down, that are calling for that readjustment, perhaps for some of you, even forgiveness in some areas, whether that be with yourself or with others. But I feel as though, this could bring that clarity to show you what it is that's broken down, to show you what it is that's needing that readjustment, in order to rebuild, right? New foundation. You have another 3, by the way. Okay. In order for you to grow. But again, it feels very focused on allowing what's broken down or what needs to be adjusted to do that, in order to create firm foundations for what you are wanting to experience, for this new way of being, right? And there, I don't know why, but for some of you, I feel like there's this, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? For some of you, I feel like there's this acknowledgement of forgiveness where, I don't know why, maybe this is for someone very specific, but it feels as though there's something here about forgiveness and like dimming yourself, or watering yourself down around people that maybe feel that you should be seeking their forgiveness, or where you feel that maybe you should be seeking their forgiveness. I'm not exactly sure. Um, but it almost feels like I'm going to play small around this person because I've done some things that maybe I'm not proud of, or I've had some experiences with this person where maybe I don't know what it is, but it's almost like I'm just going to kind of be over here. So take that as it resonates. If that resonates with you, let me know in the comments, but there it is anyway. But I do feel like this is in order for you to grow, and integrating this information could surely help you to see where that needs to take place. Oh yeah, we have the World here. So I feel like this could certainly bring clarity to where you have been empty, where you've felt empty, or there's something missing, right? I feel as though dealing with what triggers you, being decisive about what direction you're going to be taking or how you're going to be moving throughout your life, and stepping into yourself fully, fearlessly, showing up for yourself again and again and again, could potentially bring that inner and outer fulfillment, right? Because the World in the reverse, again, is it's that emptiness. It's those missing pieces. It's where, we're still a work in progress in some cases, I feel, but it's that feeling of being incomplete. Okay. So this feels to me like you've got to be involved in your own healing. Like, this is not just going to fix itself, right? That empty feeling is not just going to fix itself. And that fulfillment is not going to come from outside of yourself either. It has to come from within. The both the moon and the world are part of the major arcana. Arcana comes from the word arcane, which is about like those secrets or those hidden aspects of yourself. So it's like uncovering the mystery that is you, essentially. And, you know, I feel like this is where you're being asked to dive deep, right? So that you can feel fulfilled, so that you can feel like you've got those pieces, and so you can reach your goals. But again, it's you. It's got to come from you. Okay? I also feel like there's an energy here with the World card for you to be patient with yourself as you're diving into these things, because learning what those missing pieces are can be challenging, certainly, and can require a lot, especially from someone who isn't accustomed to doing that work. Yeah, you have the Four of Swords here. And, you know, this is a very contemplative energy. It's very much taking that time to yourself, to go inward, right? It can also be this energy of like quiet preparation. But I really feel here that more so it's about contemplating, right? Stepping back and giving yourself the opportunity to go inward, to not only that, but to take care of yourself, because you do have self-care and wellness. And again, Four of Swords can be that rest type of energy. So it feels as though there's that need for you to step back, go within to figure out what is triggering you, and figure out what those missing pieces are. And you know, and maybe those triggers can lead to that or bring clarity to those missing pieces. And what you learn there, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you guys, my printer just decided to do whatever it's doing. But whatever you find there, you know, letting yourself sit with it. But a big part of this is really giving yourself the opportunity to go within and to step back from whatever it is you've been focusing on more recently, or, you know, giving your heart to, and giving that back to yourself. Oh, what am I doing? It's over here. And the Page of Swords in the reverse. I'm gonna be just straight. For whatever reason, I feel like this Page of Swords showing up in the reverse like this, how do I say? Could be, first of all, saying like you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, I don't know why, but I'm getting the energy. I feel like maybe there's some forgiveness there that needs to be taken on, or acknowledge, or this is something that needs to be acknowledged, right? Like you don't know what you don't know. Okay, first of all. Second of all, I feel as though there's this energy here of being truthful. Being truthful, because in the upright, it's being, that's what it is. It's being truthful, using your mind, being truthful, being just. You know, it's a very mental, curious type of energy. And in the reverse, it's like deception. Why? Because that truth is not there. Right? So I feel as though, I feel like it could turn some light bulbs on, as it were, and can certainly inform you, bring clarity to, or bring clarity for you in regards to what healing needs to be done, right? What needs to take place in order to bring harmony where there wasn't before. So, what is the wisdom that your angels, guides, ancestors, spirit source, the universe, and God most want to share with you as you move forward? You have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. See life as the adventure that it is, right? I feel like part of this rest energy or this self-care energy is doing things you like, doing things you love to do, giving yourself the opportunity to do that, finding the balance between, being serious and doing the things and, how would I say, I don't know why, but it feels like external ambitions, right? And take the time to have a bit of fun. Take the time to celebrate life for what it is. I mean, good, bad, ugly, everything in between. Life is a miracle. The fact that you are alive and breathing is a miracle. So celebrate that. Celebrate how far you've come, right? Don't take it so seriously. Sure, healing is, it can be serious for sure. But it doesn't always have to be that way. And self-care doesn't have to be like going to the gym or meditating. Self-care can be you playing. What does that mean? I don't know. What is play to you? Is it embracing your inner child and like coloring? Is it, playing outside with your kids or your nephew or your niece or, whatever it is and just acting like a child? Whatever that means to you, right? Play, have fun, embrace that inner child within you. Perhaps this is something that you weren't able to do when you were actually a child. Maybe you had to grow up very quickly. And now, the wisdom being shared with you is there's work that needs to be done there. You've got to kind of, if for lack of better terms, entertain that inner child or give that inner child an opportunity to experience life. That may be what's missing. You have 12th house, Pisces, karma, shadow, and secrets. So, I mean, again, this is really speaking to that healing. It's really speaking to dealing with these things, right? Not running from them or avoiding them, but acknowledging them. Bringing in that balance between the darker side of things, if you will, like karma and shadow and secrets, and balancing that with play and celebration and fun. But I do feel as though this is an opportunity for you to be reborn, to transform, to find power in the things that in the darkness, really. Right? It's not about fearing the darkness. It's about finding power in it. Transmuting it, transforming it, overcoming it. And I feel like in doing so, you find great strength. Great strength. But again, a big part here is that balance. You also have quincunx, dissonance, adjustment, and discord. Yeah, these are things that are needing your attention. You have readjustment here, right? And adjustment here. So I feel as though, there's a lot of shifting that is available to you throughout this month, but it is going to require giving those things attention in order to create those shifts. giving karma, shadow, secrets, the darkness, if you will, the attention needed in order to make the adjustments that are required. And again, these may be things that you have not wanted to deal with. Okay, again, and I'm coming back to childhood. I don't know why. For some of you, there's something there. There's something there where it's like, I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, like disconnected. And so this may be coming to the surface. This may be part of that karma or those shadows, or that darkness that needs your attention. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. You have here water, refreshing, mysterious, and fluid. I mean, you have karma, shadow, secrets, and now mysterious energy showing up. So again, I think these are things that, have kind of eluded you or have been ignored or avoided. But I feel as though once you allow yourself to navigate them, right? Once you allow yourself to move through them, you may find it very refreshing, right? When you allow yourself to be fluid with the things that need your attention, when you don't resist those things, you may find that things feel that much easier, right? And I think it's fascinating because you do have that moon energy here and water, which the moon is a representation of Pisces, which is, of course, a water energy. Perhaps you have Pisces in your chart. But I feel as though there's a need to connect with your emotional nature, and of course your intuition, to perhaps dive deep into your connections with other people and interactions with other people. Really tuning into those gut feelings that you may have in regards to relationships and healing, these sorts of things, love. So I feel, there's a need to balance out those energies, that fire and water, or the masculine and feminine. You have the Empress in the reverse. So I feel like some of this shadowy energy, this darker energy where you may be disconnected, coming out with the play energy, and now the Empress in the reverse, you may have been like stifling your creativity, carrying whatever this is, dimming your light, and just not allowing what wants to be created through you to come through. Right? Like really kind of smothering it out. And I feel like this is being brought to your attention. And even with the water energy, right? I don't know why, but it feels like there's, how do I say this? Like blocking some of your emotions and some of the things that you feel, could be part of why that creativity is blocked or has been stifled. And so I feel like the wisdom being shared with you is like, hey, do you realize what you're doing? There are things that want to be birthed through you, but that isn't possible if you're not dealing with some of these other things. Right? In the upright, this is like fostering happiness. The Empress. She knows that there's an abundance available to her. And she's really not all that concerned with it. Right? It's like anything I need and want can be created through me. Yeah, there's fear coming up here as well. So I feel as though this imbalance for some of you has, again, stifled your creativity. And maybe that's just, or this disconnect from your intuition, from those more feminine aspects, okay, which are unconditional love, tenderness, kindness, intuition, creativity, surrender, emotions, these sorts of things. That energy being blocked is like preventing that more creative aspect of yourself from coming through, if that makes sense. So the final words of wisdom that we have for you, you have 3 cards here. The first says, you are love. And there's what appears to be an angelic little being sitting on the front, almost like shushing. I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly what it's doing, but that's what it reminds me of. And it says, dearest you, even though life seems now to be moving full steam ahead, it's a time to rest. That's funny because that's come up for you quite a few times now. Allow ideas to flow through you and take root in your heart before they reach your mind. Honor this process by becoming empty to allow for inspiration and the magic of dreaming. You might feel lazy or unproductive, but we know better. Just as sleep is a way to recharge before renewal, so are you in a time for dreaming. In this powerful process of co-creation, your soul merges with spirit in a profound way, so you can receive your music directly from source and play your part in the symphony of life. You are being invited to bear witness to the great creation and tune into what others can't hear. We have so many dreams to share with you in the sacred and the invisible. Don't worry, we will wake you when it's time to return with a new dream. No need to set an alarm clock. Loving you always. Right? So again, you have dreaming a new world into being, and it's literally talking about dreaming here in this card as well. And we've talked about, bringing this new way of being in, and taking this time to be still and to listen and to reflect, or to go introspective, or be very introspective. And I feel as though, again, you will be called to take action when it's time, but this is a time to do that deep dive inward. Okay? Which, like I said before, you, with the earth energy, or was it the earth energy? I'm not sure. One of these energies that came through, where I was saying, you may have been kind of focused on the more physical aspect of things, or may have been, kind of dealing with that side of yourself, if you will. Seeking outward things. And this is a time to go inward. Okay, so I feel these cards always surprise me because they truly do give a beautiful little, how do I say, a message. Like, it's almost like the things that I've said kind of gift wrapped, if you will, in a beautiful little package. So it's always so fascinating. You also have with love, and there's a Pegasus on the front of this card. And it says, dearest you, we have a secret for you. The more you think you know, the less you actually do. So if you are willing to keep an open mind, you will avoid the narrow confines of the know-it-all and open up to the unlimited potential that can be discovered only by the curious optimist. Okay, so I'm just going to pause, because even that first opening, little bit of information is very telling, and is very synchronistic with what's come through here already, right? Because there is that energy of the square, which we've talked about. Where was that here? Right? Confining, or how would we say, kind of boxing you in, and potential coming through, up here with birthing a new way of being. And then the optimist, right, which is your energy anyways, but the Knight of Wands, showing up there for you in that way. And, I just feel as though there's this energy or this message about stepping into that curiosity, this mental energy with the Page of Swords, getting to know you and being very open-minded as you explore the depths of yourself. So it goes on to say, curiosity allows you to discover new things, see the world from a different perspective, and find answers to questions you might not even know you have. Right now, whatever is going on, it's important to know that you are not aware of all the aspects of it you need to see to make an informed choice. You might be projecting a story that isn't totally true. So, moving forward, your mantra could be, I don't know, or that's interesting, as you keep your mind and heart open to new experiences and a richer existence overall. All of us over here want you to be all you can be. We are cheering for you. Can you hear us? I mean, it's interesting because you have this indecisive energy here, and maybe that's what the message is, right? Maybe it's okay to not know, or to take the time you need until you can figure out which way you're leaning toward, right? Again, I love these messages with these cards. The final card for you says unlock your magic, and there is a key on the front. And it says, dearest you, going the extra mile to achieve your dreams and putting in some overtime will reap big rewards. Now is the time for you to act, to stir up some energy and to put those plans into action. There are many windows of opportunity that open but close quickly when you don't take the risk and go for it. Today, be confident that your hard work will pay off and you'll feel that satisfaction and fulfillment of reaching your desired outcome. It might turn out even better than you expected. Isn't that amazing? Remember, however much work you're willing to put in, we will match it tenfold on our end. Everyone over here is rooting for you to win the game of life. So just do it. Loving you so, so much. Now, what I find to be incredibly fascinating is that we've talked about the commitment, right? It's shown up several times for you. It's going to take in order for you to really bring into your experience your desires, in order for you to be fulfilled, right? We had that world in the reverse, and representing those kind of missing pieces, or that emptiness, or that incompletion. And I feel like this is showing up to say, look, this is likely to be quite uncomfortable, but if you should choose to commit to the work that needs to be done, you'll feel that satisfaction and fulfillment of essentially turning that world upright, which again is a representation of inner and outer peace, fulfillment, achievement of your goals, right? Accomplishment, integration, harmony. So, I feel like it's that wisdom is just kind of reiterating the things that have already come through for you and giving you a bit of confirmation to say, hey, this is what's possible for you. This is what lies in wait for you, should you choose to do the work that's being asked of you. So, Sagittarius, that is what I have for you for September 2023. I pray that something here is helpful for you. If you've found that something here has resonated for you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow by telling YouTube that there may be something valuable here for someone else. So I greatly appreciate that. I truly hope that you are able to show up for yourself, to allow yourself the opportunity to heal any of the things that may have been repeating in your experience, and that you're able to commit to your own potential, to creating the world that you actually want to live in, the world that you want to embody, and that you're able to rewrite your future by breaking free from some of these things that have been holding you back in the past, some of these fears, some of these ancestral patterns, and that you're able to find those missing pieces within yourself. Have a beautiful month. Take care of your fearless, strong, wise, powerful soul. Peace be with you and within you. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.